I've been drawing my whole life. My mother was an artist and sort of encouraged me very young to do that. I was always a kid getting in trouble for drawing in class, like every class. Then I went to like a pretty basic liberal arts college and was really into psychology and anthropology and sociology. I saw that if I kept researching and fueling my passion about learning about the world, that my best way to talk about it is through my art. So it was like a way to do both things. The colored pencil thing kind of happened because then when I started to learn how to paint, I don't know, I have very little. I'm very obsessive and like a perfectionist in my work, but I have very little patience with like decision making, I guess. And so I love that like I could just say, oh, I want this blue, and then I can just use it. I don't have to mix anything, but I'm basically painting with colored pencils. The little world in between the lines here is what gets me excited about what I do. That's what I wake up wanting to do. I think that the way artists work, you know, they always want to attribute it to like something magical or whatever, but I think a lot of it has to do with their personality and who they are and what they're patient with and what they're not patient with. And I mean, I've always been attracted to complicated, detailed, precise work. Stuff that like you look at it and you, before you even notice what it's about, you just know that somebody spent a lot of really hard work and time and focus on it. I'm not drawn to like quick art. This was an image that I did for a national contest for the design of a beer can by Pabst Blue Ribbon. And you know, I don't know, 20,000 people submitted, you know, tons of people submitted, and I submit to lots of things because you got to do it, and you know, you don't get it into 9 and you get into 1, and sometimes it's good. And then I got a call in like January that I won, and in August, that will be on 35 million cans in America, which is a bit ridiculous. You know, like it's great being here in my studio, but it can get a little, you know, otherworldly in a sense. But being in reality, interacting with the public, making work really for the public, but then also trying to be in your space where you can be creative is really challenging. I have never stopped teaching myself. I think I've taught myself, and I don't just mean artistically. I mean about life and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's like, I don't know, society makes some people think that like once you're out of college and once you got a job and once you're a girlfriend, then you're done. Like that's who you are, and then just like make money and have a nice time. But and I don't know, if there's like an ignorance is bliss to that, and people are unaware of it, that's fine for them. But I can't do it. I cannot do that. This was the first book I ever made of really the first, you know, focused artwork I made. Like the first artwork when I said this is, you know, artwork to be looked at and sold and understood. Like when I was getting a C in that drawing class and then I showed him some of my personal stuff, it was like stuff like that I would like go home and make after having to draw a vase badly. There was such a freedom when I made this because I didn't know anything. You know, you weren't, I wasn't like, because now, I mean, you know, it doesn't always happen, but because I got educated in art, then when I make work, you're like, oh, you know, in the back of your mind, it's like, that perspective is wrong, or this and that. But in this, I didn't care. And there was no planning, and there was no looking at anything, and no color theory, nothing. It's just interesting how this evolved to this. I think it makes sense. It makes sense to me, but it's always very interesting. And I don't know, I wonder if I can ever, it's not like I really want to make work like that again, but I wonder if I could work with that freedom again. And I don't know if that's possible, you know, which I just have to accept. It's a weird thing to think about. I love this piece. That's one of my favorite pieces I've ever done. I don't know why. These were some of the major works that I made, like right out of grad school. They're like, 4 by 5, 3 by 4 feet. I mean, the way it comes out of me without trying to do anything is that I have to like occupy all the space, but it has to, but also in some sort of uniformity and some sort of still maintaining some sort of composition. This is like this is a reality. It's not like some place that I escape to with a substance. I mean, to me these are representative of what I see when I go outside. I actually believe that like the future of my work lies in this direction, but learning from this, or maybe some sort of combination of the two.